What's up, everybody? I'm James Duggan here with Tom Ivy of Armature, and we are playing Dead Star for the PS4. It's out on PC. You can play it right now, but we're going to be showing off some new modes. We are playing the beta, and you can stick around and get your beta key. My first question to you is, did you consider the SEO conflict with that Muse song, Dead Star? Was that was that brought up in a focus
Funny
group?
story, when we went to look for Twitter handles, we were like, well, that's interesting, because if you do a hashtag, there's a whole bunch of talk about Muse.
Yep.
And so we got to elevate our presence, knock Muse down.
That's tough, man. So I'm competing. Muse. I'm competing with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't think I'll ever overtake him in terms of Googling Jim Duggan.
You should try jumping off of some ladders and doing some sick wrestling.
I should. I need. Where's my 2x4? Anyway, all right. We lost all the people who were born.
And now we're down to one.
After 95. All right. So we're going to be checking out this game. Yeah. This game is interesting. It's 10v10. It's 10v10v5. It's a MOBA. It's not a MOBA. It's in space.
Those are all true facts. Well, you wrapped it up. All right.
Bam.
Yeah. It's at the Space Core, it's a 10v10 multiplayer game. It's like kind of arcade space shooter, so it's top-down, little spaceships flying around. You have a bunch of different systems. You level up your guys. Kind of that gets a bit of the MOBA. So we took that arcade aspect and then we stacked on a strategic level to it. So you're capturing bases, upgrading bases, and basically trying to win the match by defeating the other base. And you can kind of see a map here. So we're going to go into these maps. It's procedurally generated. We build the little pieces of it, but then they're put together in different formats, and we randomize some different things inside of it. But at the core, you'll see you start. Red team has a red home base, and blue team has a blue home base, and your goal is to destroy the enemy's home base. So that's what we're going to try and do today. Around each home base, you can see little units there already. They're AI units, and you can go and pick up AI units at any base and take them with you. So each base is different, generates different units, but you can always grab those guys, and they'll follow you around as a little squad. So in the bottom left corner is your map. I'm pointing at things in a thing that's.
Is there a big worm in the middle of this thing?
No, but there is. For example, in the middle of every sector, those little hexes is a little outpost. In this case, this one's inside an asteroid, and
these are randomly. You were just saying they're randomly placed in kind of these biomes that you modularly say that.
That is the word. Yeah, we build the layout of the sector. So anything in a hex, we place very carefully and make sure that it's evenly balanced. But then what bases inside of there can be swapped out. The nebulas, if there's like a fiery nebula, sometimes it'll be an ice nebula or a cloaking nebula. Little containers like there where you can burst open and get XP, those will be placed in different locations. So that type of stuff is randomized, sub-randomized inside this built sector. And again, then we replace them in different layouts, and we rotate them and make them. So here's a ice nebula. When you're inside that, you fire fast.
We like to point out we have Jason off camera.
Yeah,
looks a little bit like Tom Hardy. More jacked, though.
Wow.
I'd say more jacked than Tom
You just
Hardy.
probably made his day with that one. He's been like, oh my.
And he's mobbing around with two friendlies, even though they're red.
Yeah, so he's on the red team.
He's on the red team.
Yeah.
Great.
We split the teams that way, so you can kind of, when you're matching, you can say, like, oh, I'm the red team, I'm the blue team. So they're capturing outposts. And this is kind of the first rush of the game. So, again, the goal is to defeat the home base outpost. And the way you can do that is you can either capture all the sectors around the home base, and that brings down their shield, and you can kind of fly in Death Star style and blow them up. Or there's this kind of giant defense cannon floating above the region of space, and you can hack into that, gain control, and then use its laser to blast the other team and destroy them. And the way that you do that is kind of, it's like a ticket count. So if you look at the top of the screen, there's 2 bars. You're trying to fill your bar first. And you do that by killing enemies. But also, the more outposts, those bases that you can control, and the higher level they are, the more tickets they're generating for you every second.
Okay.
So it's kind of this constant struggle to keep the most bases, and then when you grab a base, you're grabbing ore, the little units that are dropping there, and you can crack open asteroids to find them, to upgrade those bases. And again, that makes them give you more tickets, but it also makes them more defensible. So you get like new turrets, and the AI units they generate will be more powerful. So you're making them harder to crack open again. So that Jason and the red team here are pushing in. Blue's captured the center home sector here, and they're trying to push back basically. So he's in a scout fighter, a smaller ship. Very mobile, but not that many hit points, and obviously their weapons. Yeah, so he just got hit by a missile.
Demonstrated.
Yeah, so he got killed by a player.
Tester 8.
Yeah, Tester 8.
That's
it's a unique name. It's but yeah, so we're playing with some of our testers here today.
So talk to me about the different. We just swapped ships there.
Yeah.
So now we're in the Stalker.
Yeah, we bring 3 ships in each match. We have 12 ships right now, and you can choose which 3 you want to bring the match.
Bring like a deck of 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
and you
great.
can swap to them anytime you die, or you can go one of your outposts and kind of deconstruct your ship and say, oh, I'm going to swap. And that happens a lot in our game because the goals kind of shift. First, there's that press of scouts going out and just capturing neutral bases really easy. Then you'll start to get our Raider class, the middle class. Its bonus is that it can carry more ore around, so it's good at harvesting. He's using a kind of a stealth rogue here, so he just came out of cloak and EMP blasted that guy. That's the ability these two guys are going to cloak. He gets revealed by damage. Those little swarm guys are damaging, so he's getting revealed. But he kind of rubs up against ships there, give him a little hug, and then blasts them with an EMP device. So he's good to work in concert with other people. So if he works with this frigate here, he can kind of blast the other frigate, disable it, and then let his big enemy.
And I assume there are things like support ships and logistics ships that can kind of heal. And
that green glow that was just going around that one ship is a healing.
Wow, green associated with healing.
Synergy right there. You just said it. It's the perfect time.
So these yellow enemies with the yellow text are neutral kind of mobs? Okay.
Yeah, so now most of those units, if you see in the northeast sector, there's they just cleaned out that neutral sector, so red's running a little bit late. They should have already probably taken that because it's just an easy take.
So it seems like there's a lot of objectives being thrown around here, both in terms of kind of hardpoint objectives, but also in terms of secondary objectives, like hitting those asteroids and getting that green good stuff in there.
Yeah, the green good stuff is what we call it. That's actually the technical name for it. That's in
and then
code,
you turn that in, and people give you stuff for it.
Yeah, again, so if you see on the map, he just got EMP'd, but there's little numbers above each sector. That's the level of the base currently. And again, you want those numbers up because they're giving you more tickets. And the way that you do that is you gather that ore. So while you have some guys fighting and trying to capture bases, you also want guys upgrading your bases to make them more defendable and also get more tickets. So your team has to kind of split those costs. They're doing a push right now trying to take that center sector, but it's only level 1 base, so even if they take it, it's not going to give them that many tickets versus taking one of the higher level bases.
I like that a lot because that creates more archetypes than just tank killer DPS. You can have kind of logistics focused people in terms of building up bases, and I always enjoy playing an engineer in Team Fortress 2, and it's kind of fun to camp when after you've been playing a long match as a fighter or something and are a little bit exhausted.
Yeah, and it's a totally viable way. In fact, it's a great way to gain XP because when every ore you deposit in a base gives you some XP, so you can level up. So if you get a little, if you're not as good at fighting, or if you get a little bit behind, you can use that to level up, and it's helping your team because again, it's making the bases better. So it's not like you're wandering around and not helping your team when you do it. We have people that kind of focus on that. Even they just really like upgrading and using ore, so they'll spend a lot of time upgrading the bases behind that first push wave.
So in terms of the association with the word MOBA, do you consider this game a MOBA?
Yeah, we're kind of combining that arcade shooter, like you're flying around with a small ship, you twin stick controls, like left stick is movement, right stick is aim your weapons, with the MOBA. And what we take from the MOBA is the leveling up system. So each match you're starting at level 0. You're seeing when he gets a level, he'll go into the menu here and assign that point to a system to either unlock a new power or upgrade that power. And you're doing that every match, kind of like a MOBA. And then just the team-oriented goals where there's, in our cases, again, it's procedurally generated. The map it's not a fixed map with fixed lanes, but we do have points of interest that are important. The tower equivalent is our bases, but you can upgrade those bases and make them stronger, and you kind of push from those. And it's, again, about pushing back and forth.
I mean, I think it's unfair to only associate MOBAs with something like a tri-lane map.
Yeah, there's a lot of
different
different
You don't have heroes. I can't go buy a BF sword.
And we have a few other things that are kind of an equivalent in that style. But overall, it's a team-based multiplayer strategy game, I guess, with arcade combat. Throw that into like one acronym if you want to make a new thing. I don't know what it is.
So talk to me a little bit about the out-of-game progression. Is there any out-of-game progression, and am I getting any kind of rewards for going in, playing, and kicking ass? And then what are those rewards?
Yeah, obviously, at its core, it's a team game, but you're always earning stuff and you're doing things for yourself. So we kind of do a mix between Heroes of the Storm kind of and a League kind of thing in terms of some things give XP to your whole team. If you capture a base, everybody gets XP. But when you're killing people and assisting in kills, that's for you and the people that are helping. At the end of a match, and you'll see that when we finish here, you get rewarded for how well you did.
Sick Chief.
Yeah, Chief. You just a sick achievement. 5 different categories, basically, where you can get XP in. So there's player kills and assists. So if you're good at that, you'll get some. You'll fill a bar for that. There's tactical actions, which is little bonuses we give you for doing cool stuff. So if you dominate an enemy, that's a tactical action. If you kill an enemy that had a full cargo container, if you kill an enemy that just killed your teammate, kind of like Call of Duty. There's
super
a lot
tactical
of things.
killing.
Yeah, killing things. Upgrading bases and
it.
capturing bases is also tactical action, though. So you get it for that. Actually, we should call it something here. Another thing we stack on on top of the randomization of the sector is events. The little gray globes that are flying through the sector is a comet storm. So these comets just fly through space. They can blow up bases and crack them open if you don't kind of defend it. They can
kill
you
have to dodge them?
Yeah, you have to dodge them.
Right.
This one I think is a plasma storm, so they're actually comets that fly through walls. So one's going to come through here quickly. If
it looks like
survives.
he's now sieging an enemy outpost.
Yeah,
because it's blue. And
yeah, so they're taking a blue out. He's doing a pretty good job here.
Bunch of crypts mobbing around.
Yeah, so him and that frigate there, that's our healer frigate, making that green glow.
So I saw another ship that left kind of a sweet neon goo trail in its wake, and that's a pretty interesting mechanic if you want to.
Yeah, that's our that's the ship's called the Warden, and it's one of the raider ships, and that trail is kind of like a trail in Tron. You lay it behind you, and any enemy that crosses gets stuck in it and takes a lot of damage. Basically, it's one of the highest damaging things, but obviously it's fairly avoidable.
Right.
But if for your teammate goes on top of it, then they get a speed boost, so you can kind of drop a highway for your slower frigates, and they can use that to kind of get to places faster. So it's like a
That's a
dual
very
usage.
interesting mechanic.
And the more you upgrade it, the more trail you can lay, the faster, the more the speed mod, and the more the damage.
Great. He's now switched to.
Yeah, this is the Juggernaut. It's another frigate. It's in the frigate in our kind of engineer race. So its powers, it can make drone units, and it can use a gravity beam to kind of freeze people in place. And his escort there is cloaked. Like also, as you upgrade powers, for example, like that cloak ship, if you upgrade the cloak, now you heal when you're cloaked, or you get a damage bonus when you come out of cloak. So
sure,
every upgrade level adds little bonuses to the skills. So again, if you didn't go as deep as somebody in that ability for your ship, then you're playing a kind of very different model of that ship. He goes a lot of cloak and a lot of damage output. You do a lot of EMP and armor, and so you play a completely different way.
Yeah, it's really exciting that you can kind of mix and match those and try out different things in different games. I've been a big fan recently of not subscribing to the most optimal build as determined by the mass of the internet, and just kind of trying each thing and getting my own opinion on whether or not I like it and it suits my playstyle.
Yeah, we found a lot of that too in the beta. I mean, the game has been in a playable form for a long time. We've been playing it internally before we had the beta. So like the match mode, we've done a lot of tweaks to it, but like the game mode and the ships have been playable for a long time. So we found a lot of builds inside that. And then when we released it to the beta, we found more builds, which is great. That's what we want to have happen.
Speaking of betas and people playing it, let's give out some codes.
Let's do it.
So you can tweet at IGN with the hashtag. This is my hashtag.
Whoa, what?
Hashtag.
Oh, I get it.
It's
like a number sign. Okay.
Hashtag. IGN plays live, right? Yes. Hashtag IGN plays. Tweet at IGN and just let us know why you're looking forward to the game. You will need a PS4 to redeem this code because the game is out on Steam and you can purchase it right now and play it. But you cannot do that on PS4 just yet, so get in before the masses come to this game with this code. We have a tweet from Potato King, who I hope has a PS4 because he's a longtime follower, and I'm just going to toss my code anyway. This game looks cool. How much does it cost? Also, when is the release date?
It's going to be $14.99, and the release date is we're looking at the first week of March, so very soon. And again, if you go we're in PC early access, like you said, and PS4 pre-order beta. So if you pre-order on PS4, you'll also be in the beta, and it's cross-play. So you can, it's kind of like in the way like Rocket League does. You can play with PS4. You can't chat since they're different chat systems, but you can play, and it just happens automatically. So yeah, you can play in the beta with everybody else. So yeah, let's see where we're at. Okay, so yeah, Red has got a huge lead that's gone in here. They've just captured a bunch of the sectors. They actually have probably the ability to kind of capture the north sector. They'll have all the sectors captured and they can attack the home base directly. But they have a definite positive lead.
Does the enemy home base always spawn in the polar opposite fashion?
Yeah, in fact, the whole map, even though it's procedurally generated, it's mirrored. So whenever a sector is decided on, flip side of that exact same sector, so we make sure that there's no team advantage, basically.
Nice.
And it's important. We didn't want any kind of imbalancing, even though we are mixing it up each time.
Great.
But yeah, so back to, I think we were talking about rewards before. So yeah, all those categories, so player kills, assists, tactical actions, upgrading bases, another category, killing AI units and finding secrets in the map, and then finally just kind of like a how long did you play and did your team win bonus. In those 5 categories, for how well you did, you get a loot roll, basically. And the better that you did, the better the table you roll on. And then you'll get prizes. So you can get a lot of prizes.
What are some
each
of those
match.
prizes entail?
You'll get like paint styles for your ship of different rarities. You get new pilot portraits of different rarities, so you can make your guy look different. And then we have an augmentation system, which is a way to permanently upgrade ships. So you can think of it kind of like runes in League. Little bonuses that you can get to your ship where you collect all these little recipe pieces and you slot them into your ships, and then you upgrade them, and then we kind of have like a Heraldric Cube, Diablo-style thing. Throw all your junk that you don't want, and you can mix it up and make higher-level augments.
Is there a Deckard Cain somewhere?
Stay a while, mission.
That's one of my 3 impressions that I do.
Same. Gotta pull that one out. In fact, I set that all up just for that.
Hey Ben, quick Twitter logistics question. If I'm on my personal Twitter account, can I DM people if they're not following me? Depends. You're going to have to follow me. Good, great. Bring up the lower third. Here we go. Follow at Thuggin' if you want a beta code. This is where I make it rain Twitter followers on me.
Yeah.
This has been my master plan. The long con is being pulled off. So at Thuggin', you need to follow me, then tweet either at me or at IGN and tell us why you're excited for the game, and a beta code may be sent in your direction. So I'll be just saying that again as much as I possibly can to get as many followers.
So yeah, again, red team's pushing forward here. They've got a nice little group. Again, you're probably going to see. So yeah, so they just got to control of the super cannon. Boom, beam shoots down, destroys the base. Doesn't matter how well protected it is at that point. Somebody just gets blown apart there, or just flew across the screen. But not the best way to win. You don't get as much match bonus for that win. If you destroy the base directly, you get more match bonus. So we try and do that to encourage people to not turtle and go active and make those little holes break up. So here he is getting his experience and unlocking components. That's the upgrade system that you got. So you got a bunch of components. But he can take it into the show the hangar real quick, and so yeah, you can see a lot of scoreboards, and it shows you like the achievements that you got.
So you have 12 ships in the game. Are you planning on adding more? Are you happy with this number?
Yeah, we're gonna add, like, the idea is we're gonna do DLC. So the idea for DLC is we'll do like a race of ships. So if you bought a piece of DLC, you'll get 3 new ships: a scout, a raider, and a frigate with all new powers. And so we're gonna do it like in chunks like that. But I don't think we'll be adding a ton of different ships all the time. You know, for us, first, we're a small team, we're 8 people. But yeah, we want to do it in chunks that are significant so people can really enjoy. And we have a free played mode where you can kind of just experiment with the ships. And the idea is that we'll let you try those ships out in the free play mode, even if you don't own them. So you can kind of say, oh, this is something cool that I like, and I'm going to buy it so I can play with it in matches. And that's kind of how we're thinking about it. So here you can see, like, you can earn and put up different skins and paint jobs on your ship. This is like the augmentation system. So again, you can go to each system and kind of upgrade them, but you need higher and higher level augments. So you're playing in matches to kind of collect all this little junk and augment your ship and get a little bonus.
Space junk.
Yeah, the bonus is very small.
Kind of
yeah, the bonus is small. We didn't want it to be like people that have played for a long time have a huge advantage. So it's
nice.
One point in the game.
Starting.
Yeah, 1 point in the game is kind of like worth like the maximum you could upgrade the system. So it's like a little benefit for you, but it's.
I do like a bit of persistence. It's interesting. I've found myself, and I hate that I've become this person because I'd like to be able to play a game. Just for the sake of it being great. Overwatch, good example. But I found myself after playing Overwatch for a couple months, there was no progression system in. And I was like, why would I play that? To have fun? Yeah, I guess maybe.
Fun is fun.
But I can't even unlock any sweet skins or additional abilities.
I like that. Like, I think also so we have achievements and Steam achievements and stuff like that as well, which is another thing for me. Like, it does get me playing and trying different ships. And we give you components of different ships specifically. So, oh, hey, you know what? I've got a lot of these augmentation components for another ship. Maybe I'll try that one because I can bump it up a little bit. Same with giving you different paint styles and stuff like that. So we want you to try because, you know, I started after we'd played a lot, I kind of settled into 3 ships that I played with a lot. But then I was like, you know, I need to play all these different ships, and then I'll find a new favorite. And so we try and encourage people to try new favorites and new builds with the free play mode, so you can kind of play that. So again, now we're playing in a different layout, obviously. So it's
much longer map.
Yeah, the big difference here is there's only one sector connecting the home outpost. So the other team only has to take over 1 sector to expose your base. So that last match, you needed 3 sectors.
Oh, wow, so it's very much different. Like forced conflict.
Yeah, so when you're playing, when you're in the lobby, you can see the kind of layouts and the events and possibilities of that you can vote on. And so if you like maps that kind of can flip a little bit easier, then you might put your vote in for that one. Or if you say, oh, I like it when the comets come through and kind of create some chaos, and you might vote for that. We have a lot of
question about the cannon and the other win condition. Is there a slight comeback mechanic where basically if a team is kind of getting crushed in one way, can they make like a last-ditch effort to go for the cannon and surrender their defenses in terms of their home close outposts?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely what we have in there. So the gaining control of the cannon is the overrunning, thing that's always running. It's that clock that's ticking effectively, and that score that you can be getting ahead or behind. You can obviously flip that really easy. Like well, really easy. You can capture their bases, and now they're yours, and they don't have any of those tickets going up, and so you can come back that way. But sometimes you'd be like, oh, well, there's just no way time-wise we can catch up. That's why there's always the mechanic of if you can capture all the bases around the home base, then it's exposed. You blow that up, game's over immediately.
So you think that's like the better last-ditch effort in terms of like sniping a victory from what would otherwise be a complete defeat?
Yeah, now you give yourself a little bit more time to do that by slowing down their ticket rate, have a few people capture or flip their high-level bases so that you get a lot of flip effectively, because a level 5 base is producing a lot of tickets. A level 1 base isn't producing that much. If you can take this out, then you're switching 5 tickets away from them and 5 tickets to your team. So there's a lot of strategy in terms of looking at the map. Where are the bases upgraded? What can we take out really quick to flip the most score for ourselves? On the flip side, if there's a level 1 guy, a little scout could go out and take that base out if it's not defended. So you're also poking holes in it.
My favorite tactic.
It's a big deal. Like that's mostly how I like to play. Is I'll find where the enemy team hasn't, kind of leveled up their bases and kept that protection there, or a certain base type that's more easy to exploit. Because again, we have everything from combat stations to like construction yards, drilling platforms. Each one has got a different defense mechanism, and so how you take it down is different. So that's another thing. You start this map and you kind of send out your scouts and see the lay of the land and go, okay, well, how do we want to take this out? What's the best way to do this? And the same base you might do differently based off of how the map is laid out. So all that is the conquest mode. We actually have another mode though, and it's happening right now live. So this is another mode. What's happening right now? This giant capital ship is warped in, and this is a group of players that's just playing in our raid content mode. And in that mode,
is this kind of an emergent event that takes place in one mode, or did you kind of need to sign up for?
You earn the right to play in this mode by playing Conquest mode. You earn basically a ticket effectively into this mode.
With the giant capital ship?
Yeah,
you can go invade somebody else's game?
You find this capital ship.
What?
It's huge. You can go. He'll fly over to it. It's as big as the sector, so it's as big as all this area.
So let me just get this straight.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of being a giant dragon monster and invading a game of League of Legends.
That's effectively what it is.
Wow.
So what we did, it's kind of it's a little Battlestar Galactica themed. You find this ancient capital ship in the waste, and it's the way to kind of escape this prison space that you're inside. And so this is just one part of an engine of the ship here that you can see.
Look at that.
So you and a little crew of 4 people discover the ship, you power it back online, and then you use its warp drive to jump to a new region of space, and you're trying to jump multiple jumps to get out of the prison. And what you're jumping into is live into player matches. So the blue and red team are just playing conquest mode, and this yellowed capital ship warps in, just makes a new sector attached to the map, and now they're here. So why do you want to attack the yellow ship? Well, because if you do any damage to it, like if you break open one of its turrets, or if you blow it up, even better, you're getting the rarest rewards in the game. So the really rare skins, high-level augmentations.
Exciting.
So
is it random what game the giant capital ship jumps in, or could you invade a friend's game and swing it in?
No, you basically matchmake. So it randomly goes out and says, oh, what games? A server will say, hey, I'm ready for a capital ship because one's never run here before. The match has been played for a little while, so it won't do it early in the match. It'll kind of match up the level of the people to the level of the map. But yeah, it jumps in, and they have 5 minutes waiting for their warp drive to recharge, basically, that they have to protect their ship. And so that's what you're seeing at the top of the screen is we got 3 minutes to destroy this ship. Even if we do a little bit of damage to it, you're going to get credit and you're going to get rewards. If you blow it up, everybody in your team is going to get a bonus reward for that as well. The yellow team, what they're trying to do is they've basically signed up as escort ships for this capital ship. They're flying and they're told, hey, if you protect this ship while they escape, we'll give you these rare technologies and you'll get rare rewards off of it. So they're trying to survive. But any damage that's done in this match, they're going to jump into the next match, and that damage is going to go with them. So they're getting more and more damage. So they have to go out and kind of try and upgrade and repair their ship.
That's really interesting.
And you can jump into player matches, but you can also jump into kind of AI events too.
So 3 separate teams that are now competing.
Yeah, so yellow team has now jumped into the game dynamically.
Could red team, say, completely ignore that objective because it's a big distraction and just go straight for the victory?
It's funny because that's exactly what's happening. If you look at the top of the north of the map right now, they're taking over the blue base. They're using the fact that blue is attacking the outpost, and they're sending a couple of their guys to try and sneak attack and get the game. It's a great thing because it's like blue and red are still doing damage to each other. They can still capture bases. The ticket count has stopped because we kind of want to not make too many things you can do for. But you can flip those bases so when the ticket count starts up again, you now have control and you can definitely attack and kill the home base directly still and end the match immediately. If you end the match in that way, then the yellow team effectively gets a free run and they warp out for free. So yellow team also has a little kind of desire to help one team win if they can.
It's a strong ship.
Yeah, he just got EMP'd, so he was frozen by that beam. It's definitely well protected, and they've leveled it up a little bit before they've come into the match. So now you're going to jump into a match, but you could also jump into just a region of empty space that's got comets coming in. You kind of have to protect from yourself.
So it could be PvP, it could be PvE, it could be a combination of both.
And then some sectors will be kind of chill, and just like there's enemies there, but they're just guarding the ore, and so it's like, okay, there's nothing happening. Let's fly out, kind of get repairs on our ship, get the system back up, you know, so we're protected. Because if they destroy all the turrets on the ship, then that warp core gets exposed.
So just to be completely clear, you have this 10v10 PvP mode that's competitive. You have this other kind of pseudo PvE mode where you're all teaming up and protecting a big kind of Battlestar Galactica-esque ship. And then that mode is then jumping sometimes into a PvE encounter, sometimes into a PvP match.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very interesting idea.
Yeah. So it makes this dynamic third team kind of flips the script here. So like blue team has done a rush push on red here. They've noticed that red was trying to push their bases, and they've kind of said like, all right, capital ship only has 40 seconds left. Let's get back to the match. We've got a little credit for blowing up some of the stations on it, but we're never going to take it out. And the yellow team is still being attacked by red, but like because red is playing so much attention to yellow, blue is pushing their thing. And again, it's up to the players. They can choose to kind of say, hey, you know, red and blue team, let's work together. Let's take the ship out, you know, because the rewards you're getting are better than winning a match. So you have a lot of impetus to do it. Sure. But you'll still get your match rewards at the end as well. So always a reason to do both if you can.
All right, tweet updates. Let's read some tweets. And
let's read the tweets.
I've been tweeting out codes like crazy. Here we go. Potato King, you got a code. So congrats. Sean Garrison, you got a code. Human says, I'm really excited for Dead Star because I'm a very competitive player and have always been a big fan of multiplayer games in space. You get a code. Everybody gets a code.
Codes.
Level 2
now
gaming.
The ship's just warped out, so now we're back to the normal match. Yeah, so 5 minutes warped out.
So that large ship succeeded in its objective, or is just moving on, or maybe a little bit bruised? And
yeah, definitely bruised. They beat up a couple things. They didn't take any of the main structures out, so it's not too bad. They basically jump back into a lobby, and that's now saying, here's what happened to your ship, and now whenever you're ready, do the next jump. And you can kind of do that. It's a series of 7 jumps, but you can take a break and resume a contract later.
Could it be 7 PvP jumps? Could it be 7 P? Is it kind of random?
Right now, we're set it up where it alternates. So you discover the ship, you kind of go out and you load the ship up with ore, and then you do a player jump, then what we call an interim jump, which could be a crisis sector, something really bad, or a peaceful sector. Then a player jump, then a crisis, then 2 player jumps. So we kind of alternate to give you a breather. But we might randomize that. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, it would be a little bit oppressive if you got 7 PvP matches.
Yeah, it'd be tough because you'd have no time to kind of like chill out and get some upgrades.
Relax. We have a question here from Evelyn H, who asks, how long does one round typically take to play? You get a key.
And no answer, though. No, it's 15 to 20 minutes, so that's another thing we kind of wanted to change a bit from the other types of MOBAs. A little bit more consistent time, and that comes from that ticket count. It's always going up. Now it can shift, obviously, because red could get a lot of tickets, and then blue could take their bases back. But we find 15 to 20 minutes. When the capital ship warps in, you're going to add about 5 minutes max to that, because if it's around for 5 minutes. We wanted that to, so I know if I can go eat dinner or if I can play a game, 15 to 20 minutes. We also just wanted you to be looping out, trying out more ships, switching up, getting rewards and stuff too. So a little bit more static in the time frames that we do. Just because people like getting rewards and feeling like they accomplished a match. And if you're behind, boom, you can go play another match real quick.
So I kind of already know the answer to this question, but it touched on something you were talking about earlier, so I'll just bring it up. Evelyn H. again asks, are there any surprise weapons or levels you can unlock? I don't think so, but there are like interesting little secrets around the map.
Yeah, so like we said, you're leveling up from experience. By killing enemies or depositing ore into bases is one way you can get experience. Getting those tactical actions is another way. These are cool things you do, like dominate an enemy or kill an enemy that's filled with ore, or just cool little things. But there's also little cargo containers that are scattered around, and they have different traps on them. But they'll contain ore, but they'll also contain artifacts, which just give you immediate XP. So that's another kind of strategy of First Rush is fly out there, get your scout ships to discover cargo containers. They give XP only to a range around them, so it's kind of finding these little groups and leveling up your team with them. In terms of the abilities, you're unlocking your abilities after that. So as you level up, if Jason brings up the screen real quick, you can see the different abilities. So you have 5 different abilities. You have your core, which is your armor, shields, and speed. But then you have 4 unique abilities for the ship, and they can be upgraded 4 times, and that unlocks different bonuses for them.
I was kind of taking this question as out of game.
Yeah, so out of game on top of that whole system.
Oh, there are.
Get ready for it.
Oh man.
There's augmentation, which is kind of the equivalent of like a League of Legends like runes. So you can find those recipe pieces you said, like we talked about before, and kind of upgrade your ships permanently. You got the contract, which is the escape run. You have paints. You have pilot portraits. You also have specialists. So what specialists are, they're little scientists, basically, that you get, and they can help you in 2 ways. In the augmentation program, they can help you kind of take that heraldic cube we talked about and kind of flip the switches and say, you know what, I want this kind of species of component to come out, or I want it to be this type of component, or I want to double the level on it. So you can use these scientists to kind of experiment with that. And they die, they get blown up in the experiment, but it's useful, it's fun. You can also use those specialists when you're doing the escape run. So you'll see a schematic of that capital ship, and you can assign these scientists to different stations on the ship, and they'll give it bonuses. So if I assign one type of specialist to a turret structure, maybe he'll make it do more damage, or he'll give it a healing aura around it, kind of like this green aura that's happening right here, a healing aura.
I love that emote.
Yeah, we have a quick.
Super
you can show
advanced.
we have a quick chat system. Just
super advanced space future combat, and it's just a little smiley face.
That's what we do in the future.
Communication has been simplified. Emojis for the win.
Yeah, if you show them real quick, quick chat, Jason. So you can use this to drop down waypoints too. So you can say attack here, and that shows on everybody's map and on their thing. We know a lot of people don't like to use voice chat, so we have just a quick system where you can just flick and do things. But yeah, smiley face. Best is get to the enemy home base right before it's about to be destroyed and just emote that smiley face. That's pro league.
Check.
But yeah, so that's the specialists are another thing that you can kind of gather, and they allow you to kind of tweak that thing or make your capital ship run better and more defended. So there's little things like that, and we have a couple more stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the basic progression. So you're playing in multiplayer combat and doing these raid runs with the capital ship.
Awesome. We have a tweet here from Lee Elm, who asks, I love the look of the game and the simplicity and compactness of the UI. Keeping the detail on the gameplay itself, or the focus on the gameplay, I actually have a follow-up or just a question on top of that. In terms of these ships and the lore behind them, are there kind of different species, different factions? I noticed that they're very different looking depending on which ship you're flying.
We have 4 races. So like we said, we have 3 ship classes, the small scout, the medium raider, and the big frigate, but there's 4 races, and each one of them have one of those ships. So we have a race called the Valiant. They're kind of humanoid pirate, kind of little Firefly type guys, a little westerny. They are our fighter class, so we equate each one kind of an RPG class. They're a little slower, a little more damage related, but a little slower with their ships overall. Then we have the class that Jason's playing right now is called the Astari. They're kind of like star mote energy beings that kind of look vaguely humanoid. And they're our priest class, so they have some of our healing abilities. They also have like defense shields, so he's healing right there. And they're electricity-based attacks, so he's like a chain lightning attack on this one. And then we have the Ithid, which are a squid race. So they're squid people. They have like tentacles coming out of their heads. Very Cthulhu-like is where we kind of picked that up from. And their ships are actually all living creatures. So they're just giant squids that they've kind of grown and to be spaceflight. And then they attach, like weapons on top of them basically, and fly these squids with their psionic powers through space. So that's what those guys are. The guy that just did the smiley face, when you see him move, you'll see his trails are kind of like tentacles that come out.
Oh, that's cool.
So each class has different trails.
So it's
on them as well.
It's an organic ship.
Yeah, exactly, and it fires like organic weapons and stuff like that. Oh yeah, very kind of definitely Farscape.
A dated reference.
We can throw in some Babylon 5. So but they have some mechanical weapons, like he has a rail cannon, but a lot of it is like they're firing little baby squid and stuff. And then our last race is our, and they're kind of our rogue race. They have like teleportation, cloaking devices, EMP, stuff like that, and they're the fastest guys. And then the last race is called the Kurg. They have these. Kurg. Yeah, the Kurg. They would talk exactly like that. I'm not even joking. They're kind of in this gigantic demonic-looking exosuit armor, but inside they're just little babies. The idea is they've lived in space for so long that they can't live outside their suits, so they're decanted straight into their suit when they're born, and they're just a little tiny creature with this gigantic mechanical suit that they drive. And they're kind of a totem or an engineer race, so they can place turrets. They can also place like a little mini base that can spawn units. So there's one right there. It's healing that little globe on the left of the screen. It's healing the units around it, and also as you level it up, it can allow you can spawn ships there. So you can put a back base behind.
Kind of use it as a a little teleportation.
Yeah, exactly. People
like
can, just like he spawned at the base there, he could spawn at that. He could choose that selection, and he could be way in the deep enemy territory.
Rogue pylon, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. And we allow you to we do a lot of synergies between ship classes. So, for example, he could make that put that outpost there, and then another class of ship can drop a cloaking field around it, so now it's hidden. And then another guy can drop a defense bubble around it, so now it's protected. And you're making this little mini base because you've got 3 different ships working together to make this base, and then you're launching your ships from it.
So what is that large bomb that he's kind of...
this is fun. This is kind of... It's called the time bomb because it's got his time.
Is that one of his abilities that he's...
Yeah, that guy is one of the Valent ships. It's called the Bulldog, and he can launch this time bomb. It's basically just a giant beach ball. It can't be destroyed. You can't shoot it with weapons, but it's a physics object, so people can shove it around.
That's awesome.
So you kind of just throw it through space, and people, it's like a hot potato.
It's like a skill shot that you like bump.
If you can do it perfect, it's a great base breaker because it does a ton of damage in a big radius. So if you can time it where it slides in right as it's supposed to blow up, it's a great weapon. EMP classes can disable it, so that's the only way you can get rid of it.
Gotcha.
So some of the EMP guys can zap it.
Again, ooh, that looks like it's going to do some damage.
So he's kind of pushing it away.
Oh, zap!
He just blasted it with his EMP. That's one of the 2 EMP abilities in the game is on our healer, that little healer unit. Again, he's playing it as a combat unit, though, so even the healer, the little tiny healer scout, he has a shock blast and he has an invulnerability bubble, and someone made a build where they just went all in that. They ignored healing, they ignored their EMP shock, and they're basically just a great scout killer because they just say, I'm not going to take any damage, snap, 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 and I fly away. So all of our ships kind of have those multiple builds, and that's kind of how that guy was playing it. But
give me another example of you guys are extremely good at making these interesting mechanics, whether it be the plasma trail or the exploding beach ball physics object. Is there anything else that just kind of stands out in terms of not a lot of other games are doing this kind of thing, or at least in this genre?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of you'll see a lot. I'm sure if I said something, you'd be like, well, actually, the 125th character in League of Legends says that. But yeah, the ship he's flying right here, just as an example, he has like a quick teleport, and then he has this kind of saw weapon, and then he has missiles. So you can teleport in, saw somebody, and then kind of teleport out and do a lot of damage on it. That guy's
melee spaceship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we wanted all types. And then we have so those globes that are flying through, they kind of they fly through, they can't get blocked, and they kind of go through and zap out anything that they kind of reach. So it's kind of a moving area effect weapon. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Yeah, so we have like turrets you can place and stuff like that. But yeah,
it is.
They were going for a base push. They almost actually killed the base.
Oh wow! So that was actually the blue team.
Yeah.
Despite the red team controlling a huge amount of the map,
red team just blew them up and won there at the end. They almost were going to win through direct assault, but they ended up winning 2 tickets anyway.
All right, this seems like a better time than any to promote my own personal Twitter account.
Yes,
here we go. So if you want a key for this game, we have many to give away. And spoilers, if you've been tweeting about it, I've just been giving you a key to literally everybody who's tweeted at me with a comment or a question about the game. Questions preferred. So tweet at me at Thugganduggan.
And every time. Can't get enough of that.
I know.
Yeah, it's good.
You need to follow me though in order for me to direct message you. That's the the little trick I'm going with. You must follow me if you want to play this game.
Yeah, so he's showing some of the pilot portraits here that you can get, so you can see like the humans. Those are the Ithid, our squid guys, and then we got the Astari, the energy they're kind of like weird guys, and then the Kurg, these kind of robotic. You can show that one portrait there, and then we have like elite portraits, kind of like Hearthstone cards, where there's like special effects going through them, so you can say, I got this because I did a capital ship run.
I love those celestial-looking little bit of Alglon the Explorer for any World of Warcraft nerds out there. This is a celestial
giving away all our secrets, bro. So yeah, here he's just Jason's this is just the recycler, where the heraldic cube of our game, where you can kind of make new components that are higher level, and he's just messing around with like some of the specialists and stuff like that.
You guys have any exclusive beta rewards or anything of that nature?
Right now, it's just access to the beta. If you pre-order, you get access to the beta. We're looking at stuff that we can do behind the scenes, but we're trying to find some stuff on there. But right now, that's kind of what we're shooting for. And then you get early access to the sweet game. You know.
There you go. Honestly, stick with that. I used to be so crazy OCD about pre-order bonuses and stuff like that. Oh, I missed the pre-order bonus. Can't play this game. But I am so happy with games that are just like, you know what? You want to play our game, play our game. It's all here.
That's kind of how I feel personally.
It's a paradigm shift that's happening again, where it's just like the game's great. Come play it. There's a bunch of stuff to unlock. We don't need to give you an incentive to order it before everybody else.
Yeah, and because we're self-publishing and we're like kind of a little small team, like the players that have played in the beta have been really great. Like we already got a really, I mean, it's a very small community. We got a really great community though. Like we've had the ambassadors kind of go out and like they have like a PS4 chat channel where they kind of say, hey, if you're new, come join us in a squad and we'll play with you. But also they've had a lot of great ideas about how to, you know, advance and make the game better. So, you know, being in on that has been super great for us. So. I don't know if we have time for one more. Again, you can see on something, that's what you're seeing on the region vote there on the left. You can kind of see what.
Do we want to check out? Are we going to check out some of the escape?
We could do that. We're doing it from today. We're doing it from the opposite side or whatever because we're still polishing up the UI a little bit.
That's totally fine.
We're finishing it up
sure we have
today,
time for one more in that. And then anything else you guys want to show off?
Yeah, we have like a leaderboard. We have all the kind of standard stuff. You can get in squads. There's voice chat. There's a ton of leaderboards. So and they're leaderboards for everything from killing people to upgrading bases. So if you
is there a ranked queue?
A ranked queue? No, we're once we see how the game's done, we're going to be expanding into saying like, oh, do we want to do options for games, basically, i.e., right now we don't want to split our matchmaking community too much.
Okay,
because
gotcha.
wait times and stuff like that. So we're making we're keeping the lock on how many different modes we allow you to play through, and then but yeah, and we'll look. You know, if it's popular esports stuff, it's a very esporty game in terms of allowing that so private matches. And in that case, all these crazy switches that we can flip to make the game random, you could choose which, kind of like in free play, you can choose which switch. Oh, let's play with this background, let's play with these types of asteroids.
Oh, that's cool.
And let's play with this kind of layout because we want to. And then, but each time, you know, oh, it's different this time, right?
How many millions upon millions of dollars do I stand to win if I go pro in this game?
All the money in my pocket. But with your help and the help of that wonderful crowd you have on Twitter and on Twitch, maybe we can raise that up and get popular. Sure. We are talking about doing some stuff at some events, you know, right now. So we're going to be at PAX, and at PAX we'll have a 5v5, so you're playing directly against the people across the computer from you, and you can win some sweet posters and sweet T-shirts. That's like money.
Yeah.
And then
swag money.
And then we're looking for some stuff too with doing a little tournament later down the line. So we're looking into stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it would be great once we have the people. Boom, that's our next goal, is to kind of like get them to be able to play exactly. We'll tweak settings and stuff that they want. But we want to respond to the community. Since we're such a small team, we want to see what the community wants and kind of look at that.
You know what Rocket League did?
What'd they do?
Give it away.
Give that, yeah. Well, this is okay. We're gonna definitely look at that too as well. We're gonna make money. I mean, no, but we are looking. We have the ability to do that.
That was a.
I don't know if there's some secret announcements, Jason.
That was an interesting move because it certainly, like, whether you were interested in purchasing that game or not, getting it. Yeah. Certainly helped kind of boost the initial player count.
Yeah, Rocket League's an amazing game. It's a really pick up and play game, and we're trying to do everything that we can because obviously our game's a little more complicated than that. It's like halfway between League and that type of game in terms of the complexity, right? So we're trying to find as many things we can do to make it as understandable as possible because, you know, how do I fly and how do they go? We have the tutorials and stuff like that for it, but we're trying to find little things in the game, like, you know, you can see at the bottom of the screen, dumb little tips of like, hey, here's what you're supposed to do to get to that same thing. Yeah. No, I mean smart players that play our game. They're wonderful and handsome.
Yes. If you play this game, you are
handsome and smart. So yeah, so that's kind of we're gonna try and do improvements like that. Like we're kind of in the last stages of the game right now, just prepping for launch and just trying to find little balance tweaks and make things look better and put in interfaces. And then in the capital ship run, you know, just like putting that last little kind of like thing. So like at the end of a capital ship run, we're putting in all the strings for like what the guy says to you and all the different styles of phrases.
Here's a question on Twitter that you can only answer one. There's only one correct thing. Hey, we just got a capital ship working in. So but I'm going to ask you this real quick. Josh Barnes asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense can team battles get? 10?
I didn't want to say, but you can actually ratchet it up to 11.
Oh, that is exciting.
Seems impossible, but we take it there.
That's an impressive feature that you've
we put in about, I would say, 3 to 4 years of work to get that 11 unlocked, but I think it's worth it. I mean, I don't want to brag about our game, but yeah, no, actually they can.
Most games just stop at 10.
Seriously, it can get really intense. You can kind of measure that, so you can be like Jason's doing right now and say,
this is like a 1. We're attacking an asteroid.
I want to attack an asteroid. I want to take it.
This is the equivalent of Eve AFK mining.
Put on Inya and just be, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just flying out in space.
say when the middle
big Indian fan here, actually. But you can also just be at that front row fighting in the main combat, and it gets really intense. I mean, it's a 10v10, and you can see the screen size, and you can have all those guys on there, and they're all shooting weapons, they're all dropping drones, and you have AI units following you. So it's pretty crazy, and that's the balance, right? We want to provide that for myself. You know, I really like the kind of I like poking at those vulnerable bases and then working with like 2 or 3 guys in a little kind of attack crew and just coming and making trouble. Whereas the front line, you know, like a lot of times you're just throwing yourself, so that's more of like a frigate game with the healers backing them up. So there's kind of each thing. I like that you can kind of be an attack squad, small squad, a stealth squad, or you can be hitting that front line. And that front line's mobile in our game. So you can capture any sector any time, so I don't have to capture all adjacent sectors to get to their home base. I just can go straight to that end if they've left it open. And that's, again, we wanted that kind of freedom of choice to be inside the game. Everything's a little bit more ratcheted up in that regard.
Got a kind of inside baseball question here from Shay Magana, who asks, how long is the development cycle for a game like this?
For us, again, we've been doing it for a while because, you know, small teams were kind of... First we did a demo version of it, a pitch demo, and that was... God, when did we start that? November, really late 2013, I think. So it's been about 2 years. And then... but that was like, we did that, and then we got kind of like a, you know, we were like, oh yeah, let's make this game. And we started into the main game loop, and then we started working on the escape run. So yeah, it's 2 years for us, but I mean, it really depends on the team size. If it was a large scale studio, I mean, the game has got a lot of depth to it or whatever, but we had a staff, most of it has just been us doing that polish over that time. The main game, again, has been done for like a year and a half, probably, in terms of just the ships and flying in the ships. So it was really switching from like a network model that was local LAN to say, okay, well now we got to set up servers that we run, and we got to get the matchmaking process in. So most of the last year or something has been that kind of polish, not the main game. So it's given us a lot of time to balance the game and find little cool tweaks that we can add to it.
I'm not sure if this is indicative of the fact that that larger ship is now being defeated, but I noticed that Jason is not dying as much as he was the first time he engage this. So is that, is he faring
I have
well
no
against
explanation
this?
for that. Jason not dying is a mystery to me.
A stealth cruiser, that's why.
Yeah, he's in a stealth cruiser, and you know,
some healing buddies.
Some mines waking out for him. But yeah, we also it looks like they're kind of choosing their side a little bit more because of how the ship has been spawned into this particular match, the location.
Takes it all back.
Red is kind of coming from the right side, blue is coming from the left side, so they're not like fighting in each other.
Oh, I see.
See how you can see how it's spilling
the
out.
ship is getting kind of attacked from 2 sides as opposed to them all just...
Yeah, so a little less chaotic for a little worse for the yell. But
here's a pro tip: if you're playing any game that has healing and you want a pocket healer, just be on a stream.
Yeah, this is how it works. Well, that's also how you get killed by the people that are just following your stream constantly. They're like, there he is.
Man. It's like any WoW player I see always has 5 healers following me like fanboys.
Healing is amazing in this game. Honestly, like we're seeing like kind of the meta change a lot. It's like we used to always have little pocket scout healers all over the place, and it was really game changing. And then it would just kind of switch to people playing them less, and we're seeing it back again for no real reason. I mean, we didn't rebalance those. We did a lot of changes to other ships. So there they just did some damage, but they have a good group here. And also the Needle capital ship has their guys have leveled up a little bit more, so they're a little higher level than the guys that are attacking them right now. So that's giving them a little advantage in terms of this thing. But they destroyed the bottom turret on there, so they've done significant damage to the ship.
Yeah, look at that.
And what that means is those rewards that you're going to get for winning, anytime you lose one of those structures, you lose one of those rewards. You can't get it back. So
is it possible for one of the senior officers in that large ship to be a Cylon and try and assassinate the captain?
I don't want to give away secrets, but yeah. I mean, that's honestly, Battlestar Galactica is where we took a lot of the influence for the idea of like that, you know, the episode 33 where they're warping into a new unknown location. They don't know if the Cylons are going to attack them. You're warping in. You don't know if it's going to be comets or a player match.
One of my favorite things about science fiction is how kind of free in terms of IP borrowing and creating your own new ideas. Everybody is just...
It's called stealing.
It's called
creative
forging a dream.
No, yeah. I mean, we definitely have...
Whoa!
Yeah, so it warped out there.
Oh, okay. I thought they just blew up into nothing, like a Death Star scenario.
Yeah, so they left a couple pieces of them behind in the match, but they managed to get out with only 2. I mean, 2 systems out in one match is bad because they have to go through 7 jumps. So
ouch.
They did a pretty good job at the start, but then the red team and blue team kind of worked together.
Got a question here from Colin asking. Oh, not asking anything. He's just saying, hey, it's great to see new sci-fi IPs.
That's awesome.
I agree.
I agree as well. Yeah.
This game has a very I love how colorful the space is. I love the use of the foreground and the background, and I love that that is random and not just a black gaping abyss like real space.
Yeah, we definitely had influence from like our art director Todd Keller, who's you know him from Retro Studios and Metroid Prime, and he's definitely like brought in that kind of like, I want a lot of stuff in space. Like we had to, you know, it's always the designer artist thing where it's like, well, we need a little less stuff so you can see your ships, but then but like the color to me is great. Guardians of the Galaxy is something that I always call out of, like, you look at that movie and it's sci-fi done with color, and it's really inspiring for that. And yeah, so Todd swirling, yeah, we have a lot of different backgrounds and different music tracks based off of what the background is. And we lucked out with the music too. The guy that did the music for us, Sam Marshall, a younger guy he did the music for Entwined.
Should have gotten Muse, man.
Yeah, well, that would have been
a real
synergy.
promo that was
I mean, I'm crying right now. But he actually did an amazing job for us, and he's going to release the soundtracks. That's going to come out when we release, and it's just a great soundtrack. It's just kind of this weird sci-fi that we kind of based off this one track that we used when we didn't have any music, and we kind of just said, like, we like this track, what can you do, like that. And he did amazing music for us, so it's great. I definitely a big part of the game for me.
We got another tweet here. We have a ton of tweets coming in, but I just want to remind anybody who's watching who's looking to get some access on this on the PS4 on Steam, you can purchase it right now and support these fine gentlemen who've made this original fun game with cool mechanics and stuff.
We have a lot of stuff.
Or if you want to play it for free, you can get a beta code from me right now by following me at Thuggin' and tweeting at me or IGN. But you have to follow me because otherwise I can't send you the code. So there's the lower third right. I don't know. No, I guess no. It's over this way. It's this way.
It's that way.
It's right here. I can touch my Twitter handle. It's great.
Don't do it. Not in front of the.
So tweet at me, comment about the game, question about the game, question for the developer while we have them here, showing off their stuff, and yeah, you will get a code because we still have quite a few. Oh, but here's the question. It's a kind of passive-aggressive question, but I'll read it anyway.
Yes,
and I'll read it in the voice that I would assume this person wants me.
Hold on, let me get...
What kind of microtransactions can we expect from this game?
That was amazing. The answer is no microtransactions. We are not doing the microtransaction model. We may go down as a company because of that. No, we're like, well, that was the stupidest idea we ever did. But no, we didn't want. We're not doing microtransactions for the game. The idea right now is that we're doing DLC content. So I think we mentioned this earlier. When we release a new race, which is 3 ships and a new style with new powers, it would come in like a DLC pack and say, oh, I like that race, and we let you play them in free play without buying them.
Sure.
Oh, that's cool. I like it. I'm going to try it out in real matches, so I'm going to buy it. And then
are you keeping the community as one there? Are you allowing people to queue up with people who've purchased the DLC? Absolutely, with people? Okay, great.
Yeah. And same, we would release for free like more sector layouts and more maps and new objects and stuff like that. And then in addition to that, we're thinking like, oh, maybe a decorative pack, like a new set of pilot portraits and skins all themed around something for a low price. But we're not doing like tons of little tiny upgrades like that. You get that stuff in the game, all the paint styles and pilot portraits and stuff like that. You're going to get a bunch of those.
All right, so here's how you actually monetize the game. So,
okay, tell me.
You play 1 or 2 matches, everything is going well. You give people just a ton of really great unlocks at the beginning. People feel as though they're having fun, they're unlocking stuff, they're feeling good about themselves, about the game. And then in the middle of a match, you have a fuel bar that's been decreasing the entire time. It gets to fuel, 4 pop-ups come up. Okay. You were out of fuel. Would you like to purchase the $200 4-year fuel plan? Or for $99? Yes.
Could you get like an ad that pops down at the same time?
Sure, yeah. Okay. And your ship there could be a self-destruct timer.
Yes.
And then if they don't purchase it, bam, ship blows up, uninstall, gone.
I'm going to follow up question to my previous question. If you have the ad, can it have where you try and close it? Can that move around randomly while you're trying to close it?
You try and close, and then when you click, it just clicks. The buy button and the ad and the close button change.
I think these are all great ideas. Maybe not for our game, but for some
for anything for the iPhone, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
great idea.
That would
That's
be great.
How it works.
No, we're trying to keep it, and we're never going to do any DLC that gives you boosts or damage boosts or anything like that. We don't want to change the game at all. Like kind of all the games that come out of our studio, we don't kind of believe in the giving you an advantage for money. But you could buy different ships, so those different ships let you play differently. Sure. But the idea is hopefully
there's your balance.
We're balancing everything just perfectly. Like we've never not balanced something perfectly.
And that's been done.
That's a lie.
And that's been done many times. It's a very altruistic monetization style, and I like the idea of not splitting the community. Even if you, let's say, you really just like playing the Stalker and that's all you want to play, then purchase the base game and you're good for the rest of time.
Yeah, and you'll see that ship in there. Maybe you'll say, oh, I really like what that ship does. I like the way it plays. When I'm fighting against it, I'm gonna go try it out in free play, and then maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I won't. You know, maybe I'll support this wonderful company and these beautiful people.
Maybe you'll think these guys who made this great game and are very idealistic with their monetization. I'm gonna go ahead and support it.
Don't make me regret this. Don't make me regret this. Buy this game. That's a desperation in my voice. Did you hear it? Oh, God, it leaked out. Please just buy this game. But yeah, available on PC, Steam, and PS4 right now. So yeah, we're back to the action. Yeah, so red, again, is it's a perfectly even match. So the score is exactly the same right now, but the rates are a little bit different. Red has a little bit more upgraded base. They have one more base. Blue has kept the count similar because they've upgraded their bases more. And again, that's an important part of the game is you can have more bases than the other team, be pushing into their sectors more, but they've upgraded their bases really high, so they can keep that ticket count the same while they're working to get their bases back.
Gotcha. So
that's exactly
what you're saying here. Is you could have 1 or 2 bases that are just really decked out, as opposed to having 4 or 5.
Yeah, so you can see here the red team has 3 3 bases and a 2 base, and the blue team has a 4, a 3, and a 3. So that little thing, they're only 10, 0.1 second tickets per second behind, keeping it really close. Plus, they're just getting more kills. You know, kills give you tickets. If you kill a frigate, it gives you 3 tickets. A raider is 2 tickets, and a scout is 1 ticket. So getting kills is also upping that bar and is a way to keep it.
So interesting. So if you're playing the larger ship, there's an element of risk involved in terms of tickets.
We also do a lot of balancing with the XP for that. So if you kill someone that's higher level than you get more XP, and vice versa. If they kill someone lower level, they get less. And if you kill someone of a higher class, so if a scout kills a frigate or is assisted in killing a frigate, they'll get more than a frigate killing a frigate.
Howard Hewell wants to know when this game is coming out. The answer is I just sent you a beta key so you can play right now. However, this is something we've answered before. It's on Steam right now in its entirety.
And PS4 as well.
Right. And you can pre-order it on PS4, and is that going to give you access to?
Yeah, you're in the beta immediately. So both platforms you can be in the beta right now, and then it's officially out on first week of March, I think. So you can get in there. But yeah, you can play in the beta, and again, the beta is running, and we got some sweet people running right now. And we just released the patch that released a bunch of content changes and additions, and prepped it for the escape run mode. So we'll have that on launch.
See how we're doing on these keys. We're a bit more than halfway through, so I'm thinking that we maybe do one more game after this and see if we can get through this whole list. Just give away all these keys. I got so many keys, I can't. How do I hold all these keys?
Yeah, it's the keys. You put them on a keychain.
Barry Rick says, enjoying the stream. I'd be happy to take one of those codes. Here you go.
Yeah.
It's yours. Play the game.
Love it. Yeah, here we're seeing the detriment to flying a raider or a frigate. He's trying to capture this base, but he's capturing it super slow. Yeah. So if scouts capture it, the small ships capture it 4 times the rate as other ships. That's their class bonus. So
that's cool. So it kind of incentivizes that behavior.
Exactly. So that's one reason, besides just being able to fly around fast and get to places quickly, that you want to scout. So a frigate's going to come in and help.
Look at this guy.
But it's okay.
Wait. That's I thought that was an enemy that was just shooting, hoping to find.
They're both cloaks. So the blue guy here doesn't know that they're in there, but they're capturing the base
that's exciting.
together. Again, if they had one scout, they'd just be capturing this a lot quicker. So yeah, the blue guy's going, what's going on? And now they're going to reveal. Now that the base is revealed, and that guy had ore in his cargo base, and he just instantly updated that base because.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a nice trick to kind of have that stuff prepped and you can only carry enough to kind of upgrade like a half upgraded base anyway. But when you destroy a base, it takes it down 1 level. So you're pushing down those bases as you kind of take them back from each other.
Sorry, my producer's trying to communicate to me through telepathy and hand signals, but I'm not understanding what it. Oh, yeah, a little bit. 20 minutes-ish? Yeah. Okay, all right, great. We got to go ahead. We're going to be sticking around handing out these keys. If that's cool, wait. You guys have a flight to make.
We do have a flight to make, but we will rush that stuff for the fans.
Okay, all right. We'll do an extra 20 minutes of giving away keys.
Right. And then we're just going to you're going to disappear in a puff of smoke, cartoon style. I'm going to smash right through that wall, Kool-Aid Man style, get on that flight. But yeah, so again, Red's pushing again. They just did that secret. They just did a stealth capture of the base, which again is an important strategy of using your stealth ships to kind of get behind enemy lines without getting detected and capture those bases. It usually causes a lot of disruption. People freak out when they see a base captured, and sometimes they'll give up on a thing that they could have just finished to throw a lot of units there. So sometimes you'll use your scouts just to kind of bug on a base. So we got a nice little team here.
Great question here from Ethan, who wants to know how many map variations are there in the game. So you disclosed that the maps are kind of randomly created with these little hexes, but can you tell us how many elements there are in total?
That's a tough question. That's a lot of numbers. So We've built about 40, I think, right now, sector builds. So we've placed the objects in the sector layouts, and we've said, oh, this piece of wreckage here is going to go right there. So we have about 40 of those. They're pretty easy for us to build those, so we're going to build as many as we can before release. Inside of each one of those 40, there's sub-randomizations. So there's 8 different outpost types, and any one of them can go inside any sector. So there's that combination, so 8 times 40. And then the nebula type, again, so if you have a gas cloud inside a sector, can be one of 5 different nebula types. So you multiply all that by 5.
It's a lot. That's a lot of randomization.
Cargo containers and stuff like that we place all over the place. Then the layouts of the map. So like this kind of cross layout, this wide layout. There's about 10 different layouts of where the sectors go, and then all those sectors can be rotated. And so where they line up on seams is different. So a lot of numbers, but that means there's a lot of variation. And again, we're just going to add more and more. The idea is to add more unique objects. So you'll see some sectors have like a lot of wreckage in them, and there'll be traps that are shooting like electricity across and destroying ships as you try and cross them. And you have barriers, minefields, turrets. So there's a lot of different objects, and we're just going to add more, basically.
That's very exciting.
And all those are owned by whoever owns the team. So this barrier right here is a blue barrier. Blue guys can fly through it. Red team have to take out the generators. Whenever you capture a sector, all that stuff switches to your team. So since you can, a funny thing that can happen is you can grab AI units from a base, right? So they're flying along with you. If the other team, and you could be halfway across the galaxy, if the other team captures that base, those guys instantly turn to the other team and start attacking it. So it's semi-dangerous to use the AI units, but yeah, so you can kind of get robbed by your own AI units. It's hilarious when it happens. I actually only saw that happen. I thought it was a bug, because I had forgotten about the fact that I was like, oh, they just changed. I've never seen, a year of playing it, I'd never seen that happen to myself. And they just switched teams. And I was like, oh man, we got a bug. They're just switching teams. And we're like, oh, they captured the base. The guy that made the game. Yeah. Run away, Jason.
A lot of questions about the DLC, just about what it is, when, and you already kind of told us that it will be additional ships that will hopefully be balanced, and it's not going to split the community or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'll be able to play in any match with the DLC, and again, with the DLC right now, the idea is 3 ships, so you'll get a whole race. So the next race is kind of spoilers. Oh, this is going to be some unique content just for the stream.
IGN first. You heard it here first.
The next race is going to be kind of based on kind of a necromancer class. So they're going to have like beam transfers where you can take deal damage and steal damage,
life siphon,
life taps and stuff like that. Some weird, crazy powers like a complete defense transfer where you give up all your defense to everybody around you.
In the Chronicles of Riddick, what were those guys called?
Necromorphs.
Necromorphs. Yes, that's what I thought it was.
If you have basically
the terrible
stream, if you have a
that
Chronicles of Riddick related question, you can just send that because I know everything about that movie.
Let's bring up that lower third one more time. We got 20 minutes left. We'll jump into a game. Don't need to finish it, but we will go for another 20 minutes exactly. And if you want a key, we still have a few to give away. So go ahead and follow me at Thug and Duggan so I can direct message you. That's right over here, if in case you need to know. But boom, there's my Twitter handle. Follow it. I'll get you a key. And also tweet at me and at IGN and ask us a question. It can be Chronicles of Riddick related, but hopefully you'll keep it Dead Star related. Yeah.
We can go Fifth Element. We can go Aliens. Fifth Element. Whatever you want.
Well, I will say that the Chronicles of Riddick was a huge disappointment into what I hope to be a successful sci-fi franchise after that first movie.
Pitch Black. Pitch Black was great.
It turns so. And I'm glad your game doesn't have this because it's multiplayer focused. But that game, like so many, or that movie, like so many other games and movies, subscribe to the all story of the one ancient person who will bring about the prophecy.
Yes.
The first movie was so interesting. It was just about survival and aliens.
I love that we're talking about Chronicles of Riddick. You don't know how happy I am right now talking about Chronicles of Riddick.
Man.
Blah blah blah. Our video game.
Thankfully, there's no all story. You were not the one.
Well,
you were not. You are the ancient prophecy.
You are actually a necromorph in this game, and you are the one necromorph.
The one necromorph.
You also control the Matrix. What else can I throw in here? You have midi-chlorians.
Something about Star Wars. Something about Master Chief finishing the fight again and again and again.
Yeah, you fight against Halo Meister Chief at the end of the game.
Meister Chief.
Meister Chief. Yes,
Meister
it's Norway.
Chief. Meister Chef.
Chief. Oh right, sorry, it's Meister Chef. Actually, you're not fighting against Halo. So yeah, again, we generate each time these random regions. So here you can see on the left now it's showing you kind of what we're gonna have some corrosive nebula or a fire nebula, and we can have some different layouts. You can also go completely random. Maybe show the leaderboards real quick while you're in there. So you can go to the profile section. Dim leaderboards. So yeah, we have wins. We have all sorts of columns you can sort by. You can do it based off fame. That's the experience you earn for your ship. Kills, assists, outpost stuff. So how you can be, I'm the guy that captured the most outposts in the game, or I've spent the most ore to upgrade. So everything that you do in the game,
tracked.
Yeah, is tracked. In fact, we want to do even more. We like record way more than this. Like we know what gun kills what guy from what ship, where he did it.
Wow.
So it's more data than we could push in a user interface to begin with. So, but we
was it in the ballroom with the musket?
Yeah, so we can use that to kind of help us get an overall look at what's happening with the game as well when we go live.
In terms of balancing and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, again, some of that numbers only tell you so much. You're going to listen to the community too, and say like, yes, I know the numbers is telling you this, but how people play, it's this way. So we take it both into balance. Yeah. Zoom. So we got our immediate rush again going out. Man, Red has been dominating. I don't know if it's all Jason's work. I don't know. Probably all him. We got fire asteroids in here. We got a slick background, new music, and we're gonna do that initial rush. Again, this is the marksman. This is a Valent ship. It's really kind of weak at the start. It's got a very weak machine gun that's not that much range.
It's absolutely tiny as well.
But yeah, it's adorable. But once you want to level up that first level to get your missile system. One thing that we're actually looking at right now. So the game right now is you start with one weapon and your core, so you can fly around. He's going to get a cargo container, probably going to help him level. We're looking at actually maybe we start you with more points. We're totally open to kind of shifting around the stuff. We have events that do that, as part of just like the randomized events. But we're looking at maybe we'll start you with different points. We'll give you a free point at the start. We might make leveling. And we can control that all from the server side of things, so we can push that during maintenance periods and kind of do that. So we're still experimenting. We're a young game and we're in beta, so we're still looking at changes like that. And again, hearing from the community. So we're gonna try some stuff like that.
That's excellent to hear. Yeah. A receptive developer is always
we listen.
A plus. I have a question here about the shields and the healing.
Yeah.
So the shields act much like you would think that they do. They kind of recharge quickly after a delay.
Yeah, and that's based off the class. So the top bar is your shields. Scouts, they regen after 3 seconds. Raiders is 1 second. Frigates is like 0.1 seconds. So frigates, you have to do continual damage to kind of keep those shields down. But as long as you're doing damage, they're not regenerating. So that's why burn effects. So if you have a ship that can do a burn effect, you throw that on a guy, and he can't regen shields because he's always keeping damage.
Excellent.
So there's a lot of tactics in that too. But yeah, your shields regen, your armor needs to be healed by a guy. You can also regen.
Oh, okay. So that was going to be my follow-up question. Is there a way to heal yourself without having a player do it?
Yeah, you can heal. Some bases have the construction yard base type has a healing probe around it. A player can also drop a probe that heals people and doesn't need to be near them. But then there's also the healing fields that can direct heal. And one of those fields does over shield, so you can get bonus temporary shield from it. So that's why that particular heal is different. Each heal kind of has its own different category of bonuses to it, basically. So yeah, the blue is pushing a lot more aggressively. So now we might, finally we're seeing a blue push here. They brought in their AI unit here, and they got a healer. So that one guy there is playing a healer unit. He wasn't even attacking. He was just using an AI unit and constantly healing it to keep it. But now he's going to use his little shotgun. I don't know if he's going to retreat from you, Jason. He probably doesn't want to use you.
Sorry if there was any confusion, guys. I just do want to reiterate these are for PS4. Yeah. These are PS4 beta codes. I do not have Steam codes on me. I left those at home. I'm sorry.
We'll do another giveaway sometime. We'll give you some.
So obviously, the logical thing to do is if you just got a free beta code for this game, you have to go out and buy a PS4
Yeah, that would be cross synergy there. You can
that would be the logical thing would be like, well, I already have this beta key, and that's like a $15 value.
The game
so
is amazing.
I'm just gonna go buy a PS4. But yeah, play it on Steam, play it on PS4. It's on multiple different consoles. I apologize if I sent you a PS4 beta key, but maybe you can give that to a friend who has a PS4 if you only have a PC.
You might say you could pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Another movie we could talk about if you want
to.
Put
it on eBay. Who knows?
Yeah. So
I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah, and that's crossplay. So if you're playing on PS4, you can play with.
It is crossplay. That's super exciting.
Yeah. So if you got friends and you want to play with them, you can still play on PS4. Yeah, so Jason is kind of doing a back cap here. So this is exactly what a scout should do. Somebody's laid a little turret around. Don't bother with Jason. Just leave it. You almost got look at you. Almost have no shields. So he's going to try and capture this exposed base. It's level 1. Any old person can do it. It's a little bit dangerous because it's a machine gun base for him. But he can kind of cycle it on other types of bases. So he's going to do some advanced play here. He's going to push an asteroid up to this base to hide behind it.
What? You can do that?
Yeah, all the asteroids are physics objects. So yeah, the enemy team is like, no, you're not going to do that. I'm going to bust open that asteroid for you. But it's clever. I use that trick sometimes too, especially with piercing weapons. You can fly through it. But So yeah, he's a little bit weak, but normally he could capture this level 1 base, and that's kind of the role of scouts. And if nothing else, he's assaulting these guys and giving them trouble the whole time, so they're not spending their time upgrading the base. And that's another thing scouts to be doing. This guy is trying to mine ore and upgrade, and Jason's just basically taking out their miners. So again, a lot of different strategy roles you can have in here. The kind of skirmisher antagonist role is a big important one to stall their base elevation. Zoop.
Question from Brendan, who wants to know, does the Steam version support gamepad? Any plans for VR?
Yes, we support all. We support PS4 controllers, 360 controllers, and Steam controller, and mouse and keyboard as well. And then in terms of VR, we don't have any immediate, like, we don't have, if you want to give us a free VR unit, that would be amazing. But yeah, like, obviously there is depth in the environment. Like, all our backgrounds are 3D. They go off into the depth, and you can see that parallaxing, which was important to us. We didn't want a pure flat game. So they're all, and all the ships are 3D models. So it would be cool. You know, we do not currently support VR. But yeah, all controllers are supported, and we are doing language translations for a bunch of languages. And it's, as of Monday, available in, let's see, South America, North America, Europe, Russia, and Asia. So you can play all over the place. And we have an Oceania server too, so you can play out of Australia. And so there we go. So yeah, Red's pushed back. Blue has still got the advantage here because they did the early push and they've upgraded their bases. Jason, it's going to be a little bit harder to back capture because they've upgraded their bases, but this is where they usually do a stealth push, bring a couple of ships in the stealth field and kind of get that exposed level 2 base. Jason's kind of just doing shutdown support here on their base, taking out their advanced turrets and trying to take out these scouts here.
James Porter wants to know if this game requires PS Plus.
It's an online game, so on PlayStation Service, all games require PS Plus to play online. And during a free weekend, though, when they give it away for free. But yeah, and Steam, obviously, online for free.
Oh no, I lost my place in this giant list of beta codes, so now I gotta do a little bit of... Oh yeah, that could work, that could work. Hey, good brain. Good brain!
Figuring out the
system. Good brain.
So yeah, we'll have a little frigate push maybe with these two guys, bring up those AI units and kind of go for a base. The base type is combat, so it depends on the type of turrets that it has, whether it'll be easy for them to kind of exploit, but it's a level 3, so it's definitely got some defenses. But yeah, Jason's beam right now is just, ooh, that turret's going to get you. So yeah, that engineer just placed down a turret kind of defense to help him out, but these two guys are working together to make sure they do it. Oh, give me a smiley face. Give him a smiley face back, Jason.
Yeah, combat emotes, dude. That's what it's all about. There you go.
I mean, the guy gave you a smiley. That's like a high five
That's
raised.
so rude.
And
I mean,
just saying,
you might die, but you may as well die.
Yeah, give it away. What's more important, Jason? Civility. Yeah. So they have a nice push going here. So yeah, he's requesting some heals, and Jason doesn't level up heal. So
Jason Lennon has a question. Game looks awesome. Would love. Oh wait, wrong person. I've missed a lot of the stream. Can you guys give me an elevator pitch of the game to catch me up?
Elevator pitch. All right. The way elevators work is you the doors go. You press a button. A cable pull. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Well, sometimes there's a rail system.
It's science. So the elevator pitch for our game, it's 10v10 multiplayer game. You're basically arcade space action, so your top-down view with your fast-paced ships. A little Geometry Wars controls. But on top of that is this base capture game. So you have a home base on either end, and you're trying to destroy the enemy home base. You do that by kind of going out on an adventure into these sectors, discovering these procedurally generated sectors and capturing the bases inside them. That gives you more and more control of the super weapon that's going to destroy those bases. And so the more bases you own and the more you upgrade them with ore, the more you're getting control of that super weapon, and whoever gets control first wins. The other alternate way to win is you can capture every sector around a home base, and that exposes it and drops its shields, and then you can Death Star fly in and blow it up yourself. So 2 ways to win, so you can always have a chance of coming back no matter what. And that's the elevator pitch. Oh, there's a third mode with an awesome capital.
Oh yeah, the third mode.
Third mode is a Battlestar Galactica episode 33. Basically, you take a giant capital ship and you warp through a series of adventures.
33.
I know a lot about science fiction. And you warp that ship through a series of adventures, and every other one of those adventures is warping into a match just like this.
PvP
so
match.
A gigantic capital ship. Maybe that'll happen right now. I don't know. A capital ship will warp into the match.
I think you do know. I think you're lying to me.
I don't know. I don't know if we have people still on there. They can warp into the match, and you'll see a gigantic ship. It's just, it's probably like 100 of these ships put together, and that team is a third yellow team now, and they're trying to protect that capital ship against the two teams. They got to wait for their warp drive to recharge, and then you can warp out. So basically, you're invading the community, and the community is trying to kill you as you try and escape this prison. Elevator.
How many DLCs planned for this game at this point?
Right now, first DLC we're looking at 2 types: a new race, a necromancer race that gives you 3 new ships, and then it'll be a little DLC. Then we're also looking at like decorative packs. So
you mean Necromonger?
The Necromonger. Was it Necromonger?
Necromonger. What did we say? Necromorphs is from
sorry,
Dead.
Necromonger. Dang it.
What is that? We both look like a fool because I went with it.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the name of what was the name of the elemental creatures that the white elemental woman that was played by Dame Judi Dench? Come on.
Too deep. I don't even know.
I don't remember. It's called Elementors or something. I don't know.
Necromonger's pretty terrible.
I'm sure they'll know.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, so we'll have a Necromonger race. It'll come in, and that'll be in the new pitch. I'm changing the name of the race right now. Say get some approval from WB.
Your legal team's gonna be like, dude, come on, Herodric Cube, Necromonger, come on, man.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll add that as a race, so you'll get 3 ships if you buy that. And again, you'll be able to test the ships out without buying it, see what they're like, because you can play in matches against those people. And then we're looking like decorative stuff, so like a theme, maybe a Necromonger theme of a pilot portrait and skins and stuff like that. So if you're like, oh man, I really like Skullhead stuff, so let's get some Skullhead, and I'll throw a little money that way. But that's the model, kind of DLC, kind of like DLC packs rather than microtransactions.
All right, little update on the keys. So I was going down the list, lost my place. Now I'm going up the list. Wow. So there may be a time when we cross and I give somebody a key that's not going to work. Also, the guy who said my key doesn't work and I gave you a second key and that one didn't work too. BS. I hope you and your friend enjoy the game. So yeah, so tweet at me. We'll do the last Twitter call out. Bam. Right over here in 3, 2, 1. There it is.
There it is. We did it.
Nice.
We summoned
well
it.
done, Ben. Thug and Duggan. Follow me so I can private message you, and then tweet at us with a question or comment about the game. I have a handful of codes. I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6. We'll see. I'm sorry I lost my place. So if you get a bad code, then there was none to give.
All right.
I wish I could give more, but I just can't.
Yeah,
there's only so much I can give.
So yeah,
tree.
They just captured a different style of base. Again, we have a bunch of different outposts. That was a drill station, so when the drill is down, it's spinning and making this area effect damage that kills people. And then when you have a very small amount of time when it's up to do damage to it. And as the more they upgrade it, it adds turrets, and it also adds protective shields around that exposed part. Somebody's cloaked behind you. So yeah, that guy that was a cloaked guy, and he was carrying around a whole bunch of cloaked AA units with him. That's our stealth frigate. But yeah, red is taking control of this game. Blue is still ahead because they had advantage, but red is going to definitely flip the script here shortly. They've got a really nice push going on here.
Also, these are PS4 codes, by the way.
Yeah, they're all PS4 codes.
They do not work on PC.
You can put them in there, but it's just going to say, I don't know what that is.
It's going to be like, you're 3 numbers too short, guy.
Yeah. Is it 3? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who can say? So yeah, the red... Oh, it's going to die here. Oh man, I love that. That was an Inya callback. If you didn't get that, and I support that with my whole entire body. So yeah, Red's
your soul if it's Inya.
Getting a little stuck here. They need some support. They got pulled back because Blue pushed their north sector, so they pulled some units back on there. Little tricky Blue. But Red still has is trying to push and gain advantage here. They're only 40 tickets behind, so they got plenty of time to do it. But they just got to keep Blue on lockdown, so they need to keep pushing that one back. Blue's trying to upgrade their bases to stop that basically, so they've got their base to a level 4.
There's a lot of people tweeting at me. It's their first tweet ever. So either they're just tuning in at the right time, or they're a very crafty individual who's created multiple accounts. But if you're willing to go to that extent, I'm willing to give you a key to play this game.
I support it. You're my new favorite person, as long as you also buy 4 copies when the game goes live.
Get your friends to buy 4 copies. Support these fine gentlemen. Yeah. They're awesome, innovative game.
We are stand-up citizens, I assure you. So yeah, this space is going to be a little bit harder for them. A level 4 base on at least the combat station and most other stations. When you go to level 4 on it, now you have to, it gets an extra protective shield, and so you have to take out all the pieces around it before you can get at the core. So getting to level 4 is a big deal. Getting level 5 gives you a bonus to everybody in the sector that's on your team. So you might get a speed bonus or a damage bonus to the entire sector, which makes it obviously even more difficult to retake. But it takes a lot of ore to get to that, so it's kind of a rare occurrence unless you're really pushing well. But yeah, so they're fighting along a level 4 line. A little bit lost out of tickets. Like red right now probably should be taking that level 1 at the top just because it's an easy kill and gets an easy base to take back, and they could get them a little bit more advantage on the game. They're already ticket advantage right now, but again, because kills matter too, blue's getting a little bit more kills on them. So, but they're catching up. They got 40, still 40. Yeah, so
Close game.
Yeah,
Close
blue's
game.
upgrading all their bases, so they protected that north base. They grabbed it from red, and now they're slowly upgrading until they add that protection. So now the ticket counts are even, and so they're going to keep that 40 ticket advantage if red doesn't push back. So what red lost because they didn't retake that easy base is now it's a harder base. They wasted their time. They put all their eggs in one basket. That's a metaphor. We don't actually have eggs in the game. Yeah, so they should have pushed up top there. That was kind of a mistake. And again, that's what I mean, there's a lot of, it's a very strategic game in that respect. You can be flying around killing all the ships. You can have, 20 kills, have an awesome streak on someone, but your team's losing out, and, you're losing out on those rewards if you kind of ignore those little those holes and don't send your scout units or teleport over. But you can still have fun. That's all that matters.
Having fun and winning. Winning matters too. Let's be honest.
It's minorly important. Yeah, so they're pushing. You can see somebody's requesting the attack. You'll see like little icons on the map there and up the edge of the screen. Those are those emotes that you can fly out, so you can do a little strategic advance there. So
2 cool questions here. One from Lie to Me. Is there plans? Lie to him with the answer.
All right, I'll get prepared with a great lie.
Are there plans for an Xbox version of the game?
Monkey roast beef ticket count.
That's not lying. That's just random.
Oh,
words.
I don't know what lying is.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm an honest gentleman. Remember, we're stand-up citizens. Currently, no plans for an Xbox. But yeah, we are on PC, Steam.
Cool. Other question. I've been following the game for. This is Isaac Bellich who asks, I've been following the game Dead Star for months now.
Oh, great.
Can I please have a beta code? Yes. I can't promise it'll work because I feel like I've gotten to the point where I've already... but will you be able to enter a capital ship?
You don't enter the capital ship, so the rest of the capital ship is AI controlled. We wanted to make sure that you're still playing the same game, you're still playing with ships, so you fly the same kind of ships that you fly in the rest of the match, but now you have a different goal to protect them. So what you're doing is pretty different because you're a lot more defensive than you normally in the game, which is usually a back and forth, and you're going out and doing that upgrade, and you're going to go into adventures that you won't see in the normal match because you'll have these AI sectors and stuff like that. But no, we decided to keep our focus on one overall type of game, even though that mode is very different. We wanted you to still be piloting ships and playing that game. When we get the expansion by another company, they'll make the first-person expansion where you'll be walking around the ship. That's a lie.
Sick.
That was the lie that I told. Oh, that was the previous person. Oh, sorry.
Good.
But if that guy, if you do not get a
sound
code,
a lot like Star Citizen.
yeah, that's
trying to get that 105 million. Is that what?
If that person who has been following us for months
Isaac
does not
Bellich.
get a code,
yes,
please tweet again to our Twitter account.
What's our Twitter? What's your Twitter?
Star Game.
At Dead Star Game.
We will
so
definitely get you.
If I give you a code and it doesn't work, it means that I went down and then I'm going up, and now I'm using the same codes. So tweet at them. Maybe they'll be nice gentlemen if you really make your case for why you want to play this game so much.
Yeah.
And then buy it after it's out of beta.
Definitely do that second part because it's important so we can eat food. I like to eat, and
eating food is nice.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm going to go have some food as soon as this stream is done. Speaking of which,
oh, wow.
we're 1 minute over. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. Red's just overtaken. It's a perfect opportunity. Okay.
Can you guys stay for that amount of time?
We probably should be going.
Yeah,
or
let's get you guys out of here. All right,
but yeah, Red has just taken back control, and they're going to win
for this
by
game
like
to finish. How about that?
Yeah, they have like 20 seconds. Red has just snatched victory from the hands of Blue. This is what I love about this game. Exactly when this happens. So Blue had advantage the entire game. Red didn't do it by doing some sneaky move. They did it by grinding against it and finding little holes to poke on. They flipped that all-important 4 base, so they didn't go for the weak base. They went for the strongest base. They flipped it.
Good, hard, honest.
That's why a
work.
red beam is killing a blue base and some blue beam killing a red base, just like in real life.
The upset! Oh my goodness! Leaving with the grand prize, $400 million.
That's
with Team Red Blue.
There's no money involved.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give them a.
So this has been Dead Star. We've been playing it on a PC, but it is on the PS4. We have this new exploration mode with the giant capital ship coming in, and what's really cool about that is you defend a capital ship like a Battlestar Galactica scenario. You are Starbuck in that situation.
Yes.
And then that jumps into PvE encounters, but it also invades PvP matches, which is super cool. So there's some really cool new innovative things in terms of mechanics, in terms of ships and roles, and I like that you didn't just copy pasta a MOBA. But there is some light MOBA elements to this. There's out-of-game persistence. Check it out. It's on Steam. $15, a low price to pay for this much awesome. And look at that cool Hearthstone-y animation thing going on down there.
That's an elite version of a Kurg portrait. So inside that little armored guy is a little tiny baby.
Oh,
it's adorable.
Cute. And anybody who got a PS4 code for the beta, I really hope you enjoy it. Check it out. Tell your friends. And it's available on PS4 right now. You can pre-purchase it, get instant access to the beta, so it's, for all extents and purposes, kind of released a little bit.
Yeah, PS4 pre-order beta and Steam Early Access, so you can play right now in both of them, and you'll cross-play together. Oh, man, it's magical. It's awesome.
Great. This has been Tom Ivy, and this has been Dead Star. For all things sci-fi and necromorphs, keep it right here on IGN.
Thanks a lot.